Hello.
Hello.
Goodbye. That's the show for the day. We'll see you next month.
Yeah, how many times have we told that joke? Like 10. Like
Never-
10. Something
never
like
again.
that. I don't know, man. We are starting a cult that's great. I'm Jake. Mitch is coming, but he's not here yet. Navi is running around. And this is the part 4 of Aleister Crowley.
It is. Are you
I
guys
can't
ready?
have you texted. I can't have you texted, man.
I'm texting. David's actually texting me right now.
Man, fuck you.
David, believe it or not, he caved and he bought an Xbox.
He's been a PlayStation stand for way too long.
Yeah, it has. But we are here for Aleister Crowley.
Part 4.
Part 4.
All right. And you know what? I
It's
know
not
it's been
gonna be the
it's
end.
been a long ride, but it's happening again next week.
Yeah,
And
strap
that'll
in-
be the final one, I think.
Strap in for at least one more. It's not going to be that. I feel like a lot of the harder stuff to kind of follow is a little past. I mean, it gets harder. I'll say this, but it's also more fun. You know,
A little bit, yeah. And yeah.
it's a lot more. I mean, if you can believe it, it's a lot more out there than what's already occurred.
A little bit, yeah.
So these last two parts. They're definitely gonna. We're gonna wrap it up. This will officially make it the longest series we've ever done.
Yeah. Wait, what about Skinwalker Ranch?
That
Wasn't
was
that
only
5?
4.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. And this is just a guy.
Yeah, that was a whole
Fucking
place.
yeah. Skinwalker Ranch is a fucking shit show over there.
Yeah, this is one guy. So yeah, we're really gonna have to shift gears for a while after this, I think, to just to avoid just a single individual for a week or two.
I think we may have to just do a fuck off episode, just kind of like whatever.
No, it'll have
We'll
to happen,
just-
'cause
we'll
this
just
is-
talk.
It's very long, but it's worth it. I promise.
Kind of sick of reading about this guy, but it is interesting, and I'm excited to get into it.
Oh yeah, no, you
You
guys.
know.
This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna
It's
be.
going to be a good one. So we last left off with Crowley being married, fucking in the Pyramid of Giza, channeling his guardian angel Aoas to write the Book of the Law, which he chose to sit on for a while. Had a kid, traveled all around the world for no reason whatsoever. Baby died. He had another one, and then he left Rose and the child.
Ooh.
Starting a new magical order, abusing Neudberg both physically and emotionally, opening his drug-filled sexy poetry rituals to the public, and began getting traction on name recognition, and so decided that it was time to finally release the Book of the Law onto the world, or something, or soon, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's out there.
It would be it took until 1912.
That's okay though. It took its time, but it was maybe worth it in somebody's eyes.
It's true. So we're gonna talk about sex magic, all right?
Yeah, I hope you guys are
Because
ready.
this is we're getting into his like nitty gritty,
Yeah,
this is it.
Sex magic it's fun. The idea, I want you to know, I think we said that, honestly, I don't even remember what we said in part 1, because
I don't remember anything.
so long ago. But the idea of magic that we're talking about in this series, in this episode specifically, it's not sleight of hand like magician magic trick stuff,
Yeah, it's not like, oh, the ball's in the glass. How'd I get it out?
Yeah, I think you kind of probably picked up on that already, that this is far beyond that realm of magic.
Yeah.
And
This has a lot to do with intent and belief in oneself, and then the world reacting to the magician doing these things, like that kind of thing.
yes.
Super rudimentary explanation, but there you go.
And what's funny is sex is a huge part of this type of magic in general.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's not sex, with, a partner, it's masturbation or some type of sexual energy is seen as a very potent form of energy that can manipulate the universe.
It's cum.
Yeah.
It's cum. That's what we'll get into it. Yeah, cum is very important.
Yeah, cum
All
is
right.
like huge. It's great. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about sex magic. Around this time, Crowley and Neuberg decided to perform an Enochian ritual that would push through some sort of barrier in the way of enlightenment, okay?
Okay.
So it's super simple. Pretty good. And what better place to do this than the Algerian desert?
That is an interesting
Maybe a
locale.
Fuddruckers or something.
I would go there just to kind of hang out and see what it's all about. You know?
Yeah, of course. Well, anyway, the ritual was underway, and Crowley was doing his thing, when suddenly all he could see was darkness. That wasn't the plan. I feel like enlightenment is not dark. Would you say?
I mean, I guess it could be. There's probably a significant portion of it that it
do you think
requires it.
Yeah, do you think it's a matter of, like, preference? Like, if you're, like, a goth doing an enlightenment thing, you think it's just like, this is where I live?
I think a lot of this magic shit, a lot of it is just personal preference,
It's like you make the practices work for you.
These are the rules, but if you don't like that, we could tweak it and you could do it your way instead.
There you go. So suddenly he was like, oh, it all went black. Something's wrong. Crowley then ordered Neudberg to assist him in building an altar dedicated to the Greek god Pan. We all know that guy, Mr. Goat Legs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, he's playing the
pan flute.
The pan flute. Oh, my God, that's where that comes from. I never even put that together, honestly.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know if that's like the origin, but it is.
It better be,
It is.
I mean, how much farther back could it go? Apparently, this was basically a pile of stones that him and Neudberg are constructing. But it's the intent that matters, right? So, but in order for the altar to work, any altar dedicated to Pan, there needed to be a sacrifice. For Pan. Yeah, sacrifice it all. And, they were in the desert, so there's no sacrificable animals just, like, in the desert that aren't either extremely small or lethal or both.
Yeah, like spiders and scorpions.
Yeah,
that's like all they got right
those
there.
Those sidewinder snakes that, like, burrow themselves down and shit.
Yeah, maybe like some giant fucking like camel spider, like like some fucking Harry Potter looking shit.
There you go.
But yeah, there's not like cows or goats just chilling.
Yeah. So you know what, Crowley, in this moment of panic, he had an idea. So Crowley got this idea. If he couldn't sacrifice an animal, you'd have to sacrifice something else. What do you think that was, Grant?
Fat loads of hot, steamy cum.
Yes.
I'm talking.
Yes,
gobs.
it was cum. It was cum. He had to cum. He immediately told Neudberg.
Ropes of fat, sticky pipe jizz.
Yeah, he wanted Neudberg's that. Yeah, he wanted that. He was like, dude, you gotta fuck me in the ass, is what Crowley said to Neudberg. Because sex was spilling of the seed. And the seed being spilt into an anus means there's no life grown from that seed, right?
That's so, like,
thus, Neudberg
stupid.
Coming into Crowley's asshole would be a sacrifice. He was enlightened to this.
But therefore, if you would have explained it in that sense, you really could just masturbate. Or the ultimate sacrifice that wouldn't be any form of manipulation to get sex, you could just cut your fucking balls off.
What? Well, then there's no more. That's the cum factory.
Yeah, but it's the ultimate sacrifice. You
only get one, though.
Yeah, but it's so much more powerful than just a load in the fucking bum.
Grant, Neudberg fucked him in the ass, okay? And it was a sacrifice.
I'm starting to think...
All right?
I'm starting to think that Crowley just really wanted to get fucking piped in the ass and just came up with excuses to do it.
Oh, definitely.
And that's how all of this happened. He was just like, Pazuzu will give you a hand job if you fuck me in the ass. They're like, what does that mean, Mr. Crowley? He's like, just fuck me in the ass right now.
Just do it.
Come in me. I want to fart cum for a month.
This was getting crazy. All right,
lot of cum talk.
So after this was done, Crowley claimed that he saw the secret chiefs in a vision, and he joined them as one of them. So it worked. All right, it was a sacrifice.
Okay, we're cooking.
Do you accept that now?
Cooking some food.
Yeah, there we go. Who are the secret chiefs? They're the leaders of the Golden Dawn and all that stuff. They're
Chief
on
Wiggum.
the unattainable tier.
We got, like, Chief Wiggum. We got, like, Chief... I don't fucking know who else. Chief Wiggum's in
Chief
it, though.
Bagelheart.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
He was there for a while, but he left. He had to go pursue his, internal butt fantasies.
Yeah, well, of course.
That movie had that dildo scene that still sits with me.
In the wrong Ferrari.
Yeah, that still sits with me pretty hard.
Where it's just playing butthole surfers, and he just sticks it up his ass, and then it just cuts off. What does he say? He's like, I have seen in the light, or something like that. Something really weird.
There's no lube or
Adam
anything.
Green.
It's just in.
Dude, that seems like a Crowley thing.
It does seem like a Crowley thing. It probably was.
To just bend over and be like, insert. They didn't have dildos like we do now, though, back then, you know?
They just used ears of corn.
Like, what did Crowley say about anal sex?
Oh, it was the most, like holy and amazing thing to ever exist or something like that?
Yeah, that's kind of like what Adam Green said about that dildo scene after he got fucked in the ass.
Yeah, maybe he was channeling it.
Dude, people like getting fucked in the ass. It's clearly popular, okay? Because as time goes on, more and more people turn to that side. Maybe we got to get in on that. Maybe we got to learn more about getting fucked.
That's what I was saying the first time we said this. I was like, that sounds actually great.
I'm thinking we got to start moving into that, you know?
Who knows? Some things are moving around.
Let's go buy like I don't know, like a strap-on or something. You know, that way it's not two dudes. It's just it's a dildo. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, obviously, just like us, Crowley was just shown the power of sex magic.
Yeah.
Because we just became obsessed with it for a good 30 seconds. That was crazy.
30. I'm still obsessed with it.
There we go.
I'm just being quiet because I'm plotting how I'm gonna get it in my butt.
There we go. Well, there was nothing like he'd ever experienced before. And as for Neudberg, this little magical experience caused him to actually fall truly in love with Crowley. So he's just in love with this guy. And this newfound love, his magical master, would cause him to do anything that he asked. So Neudberg is in the palm of Crowley's hand at this point. Right?
Yes.
You gotta stop texting, man.
I'm just
I need your head in the game.
Dude, my head is in the game. I'm listening to all this shit, and you know what I'm thinking right now? I've been saying this.
I gotta go on my phone.
I've been saying this since episode 1, okay? And I'm gonna continue to say it, and I'm not gonna draw it out as much as I probably will next week. Again, it's all just nonsense. It's all sexual
but it's
nonsense.
Fun. This is a fun time.
This is Bill Schnoblin, but they dotted their I's and crossed their T's. That's what they did, you know? Maybe it's real. I don't know. I'm not going to question it. I'm certainly not going to try to fuck with it. But looking at it objectively, you're just like, this guy something's wrong with him.
Yeah, but maybe something isn't wrong with what he's doing.
And he just
the real world
all
effects.
that money on all these crazy expeditions and experiences just so he could take it in the ass.
It was mostly books with expensive paper.
I'll tell you this: the guy's driven. He is far more ambitious than most people we've ever talked about on this show.
No, you're right.
He's probably the most ambitious one we've ever had.
Yeah,
he's on a new level.
Many Pantera references.
Mitch is here, by the way. I know you heard him talk, but I said earlier he wasn't here. He's here now.
Yeah, he wasn't, and then now he is.
Yeah,
it all happened at once.
So I mentioned the barriers to pass through on the way to enlightenment, right? So these in Enochian belief were known as aethers, or ethers. I think it's aethers. I believe there are 30 of them to get through until you reach enlightenment, and Crowley and Neudberg were about to face the 10th, right? So they got a long way.
They're about to be about a third done, you know?
About to be.
The first third is always the hardest, I hear.
Yeah.
You know, when you're dealing with these fucking guys.
Yeah, no, they don't seem like two people that you'd want to be around.
That's another anal sex reference. Once you get that 1/3 in, the rest just slides right in.
I would imagine, yeah.
That's the hardest part. You got to get it in, then boom, it's just, ooh, there it goes.
Yeah.
You don't even notice it at that point.
You done?
Yeah, you know.
What do you think? I'm thinking about butt sex now. So,
yeah.
How well do you
got
think
Mitch
they
thinking about
cleaned
butt sex
down there? You think?
I don't think they cleaned up.
Neudberg
Crowley
had a
specifically.
really shitty poopy dick.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking that. Here's the thing about anal sex, right?
You got to do it right.
Here's the thing. You can try to clean it out as well as you want, but that's where the poop lives. That's the poop house. You know, it's like regardless of what you do, it's in there. Unless you fist yourself to get up in there and clean it, it ain't going to get clean.
You should do the enema.
So as long as you thoroughly wipe and like clean the general area, whoever's the person inserting, they're responsible for the cleaning, you know?
Yeah. Well, no, I think what's his name? Neudberg? Neudberg. He actually gave Crowley a natural enema. He pissed in his ass every time before they had sex.
That'll clean you out.
It could be. I have no knowledge of that, but it could be.
That's actually not true. I just made that up.
He did.
It's sterile, though. Urine it's a good, I don't know if it'll clean.
Is it? It's only good for jellyfish, I thought.
Well, that like helps reduce the swelling, but urine is sterile. You could drink it; it ain't gonna kill you.
Hilarious.
It is what it is. You could live your entire life just drinking your own urine, and then your body's just like a well-oiled recycling machine. I'm no doctor, but I think that's how that works.
Well, apparently, once one reaches the 10th Aether, one must face a demon named Karanzan.
Ooh.
Isn't that fun?
It's like Doom, the video game. You just gotta beat the stages to get to the big boss.
Yeah, Karanzan definitely sounds like a boss.
Karanzan.
Keeping in line with his increasingly extreme ways of carrying out these rituals and evocations, rather than simply summoning Karanzan, Crowley and Neuberg hatched a plan to have the demon possess Crowley.
Perfect.
So he's like, just come on in.
Come on in, bro.
Come on in.
Can you possess the willing? Like, is it the same potency as the non-willing?
That's a good question.
Like, I feel like part of the draw of possession is that, like, they don't want it. So that's what makes it so powerful. But, like, if you're asking for it, yeah, they could do it. But it's like, is it going to be as fun,
I feel like it's like a matter of, like, I don't know. It's like intent on whether or not you're in the triangle of evocation when they are, like, evoked.
No, you have to be. That's
so yeah. Obvious. So like, but if someone like is accidentally in it, it's like then it's against their will or whatever. But if he's standing there, it's like, well, this is the only place I can go. I can't like appear next to this guy.
I kind of look at it like fishing. It's like when you go fishing, the fun is the patience and like the trying and the reeling. If a fish jumped into your boat, like you succeeded, but it's nowhere near as fun. No,
it's true. Yeah, those videos they're good for content. Just watching. But they're dead inside. Anyway, on December 6th of 1909, having again returned to the Algerian desert, the two began their plan. Okay, Neuberg first created a circle of protection using the blood of 3 pigeons that they brought with them from home.
Oh, they had to bring them, you see.
Yeah, see, they learned from last time. They were just like, oh, we had to come last time. Maybe I'll just bring these pigeons.
He's like, I'm surprised he didn't just abandon that. And he's like, no, cum is better. I promise. It's way better.
But to make a whole circle of protection out of cum, that's a lot of cum.
Dude, you could
That's a lot of cum.
If you really tried, you could do it.
Well, how thick of the circle do you need?
How thick, you say?
Thick of it. It's not like building a wall with these lines.
Just in one load would probably do it.
No, the best way...
How much do you cum, dude? Jesus Christ.
The best way to do this would be to get a bucket, and everyone's got to come in the bucket. And then, you dip a finger in there, and then you draw the circle with the butt. You can't come and try to move and, like, go around. It's too unpredictable.
No, it's true.
The circle will never be complete. You have to draw it after the cum has been produced.
Yeah. Well, sadly, he didn't use cum. He used the blood of 3 pigeons.
It's not as fun to make, but it's
not nearly as fun.
Probably just as effective.
So, yeah, Neuberg was doing that, and Crowley created a triangle of evocation.
A
notification from fantasy. Evocation, yes. So, after some magical words and waving of a dagger around, both Neuberg and Crowley claimed that they heard the words, Adam spoke in the Bible to open up the gates of hell.
Yeah, no, I heard that too.
Yeah, what did you hear?
Yeah, Adam opened the gates of hell.
Yeah.
Or something.
No, it's Zazas, Nasatanara, Zazas. Don't know what that means?
I'm sure it means
but it
something.
Opens the gates of hell.
What if, like, right now... we just get decimated.
There's portal.
No, we don't have pigeon blood. We got none of the first steps, We're on, like, a demon watch list now, but they can't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't offer the right thing. What's the difference?
Oh, yeah. And so what came then was Karanzan possessing Crowley, just as they'd planned, right? Who then began...
right into my trap.
He's like, you fucking idiot. He then began attempting to coax Neuberg from the protective circle. All right, so Karanzan did this while possessing Crowley's body, right? By first turning into the woman who Crowley had, like, convinced Neuberg had loved him earlier in that story where he, like, emotionally abused him.
Yeah.
And then he fucked her, and it was like, Jesus Christ, man. So he first turned into that. And she was like, oh, I'll be your slave. And he didn't like that. So then he turned into an old man. Yeah, of course.
I'll be your slave.
I'll be your slave. Mr. Slave. Yeah, it's perfect. So then turning into an old man. And then he turned into a snake. What the fuck, a snake?
That's like, that's awesome. That's all that is.
Okay. And then he turned back into Crowley as himself dying of thirst.
Oh, dying of thirst, you say?
Dying of thirst. And then Corazon just started talking shit about Crowley's guardian angel, Aowas.
Oh, Aowas.
He was like, that guy's an idiot. He fucking never got picked at dodgeball.
Why is Navi out there? I don't
know what Navi's doing out there, man, but it's not good.
He's struggling. We'll be right back. We'll come back. We'll reconvene. Let's let him calm down for a moment.
All right, we're back. He was just barking because he found the laser pointer.
Yeah, he found it. It was.
It wasn't even on. We weren't even playing with it. He just found it. He knows what it looks like.
And he was pissed because it's dead, and we have no way to charge the battery right now. So he is.
So he's satiated in some way.
He's thoroughly upset, but he's been satiated for now.
We're in the midst of this crazy story.
The beast will rise, just like the one that's in Crowley.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, Corazon. So yeah, we left off. He was just making fun of Crowley's guardian angel hardcore. He was saying, "Oh, what an idiot! What an idiot, stupid guy."
What butthole?
Finally, Corazon, still possessing Crowley, disrobed and attempted to attack Neuberg. So naked Crowley jumping at him. But Neuberg pulled out his magical dagger.
Oogaboo.
Because he also had one. And he thwarted the attempt, okay? So the now nude, possessed Crowley again took the form of the aforementioned woman, trying to seduce him. Because, Crowley's now naked. And he's like, oh, I'm just a sexy naked woman now.
Oh, of course, so.
Yeah. So when this didn't work, Corazon, possessing Crowley's body, began begging to be released so he could get his, clothes that he had thrown just outside of the triangle of evocation.
Yeah,
so he started to get a little ashamed.
Put me back on. Put my clothes back on.
It's so cold in the desert.
My pee-pee's out.
So when Neuberg remained resolute, Corazon admitted defeat and left Crowley, who was now nude and huddled into a ball in the middle of the Algerian desert. So it's a Saturday afternoon.
That is a fun, just mental image, I guess.
No, it is.
I'm into it.
Yeah. So Crowley arose, having achieved passing through the 10th Aether. Okay, knowing truly in his heart that he was now the prophet of Thelema.
Ooh, okay.
Isn't that fun? Well, that's crazy, 10th Aether, congrats. Crowley was on top of the fucking world at this time, okay? So he used the growing notoriety and recent magical workings to his advantage. In this magazine, the Equinox, the super thick, the Equinox, he began publishing Golden Dawn ceremonies and their effects, which was very legally compromising due to the weird fact that magical oaths of secrecy were legally binding at this point in history.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right?
This is a legal contract now. Fuck.
And also Samuel Mathers had copyrighted these ceremonies.
Oh, man.
So,
he's in for it now.
Yeah, Mathers sued Crowley. And the legal ride was fucking wild. And the tabloids had a great time with it, as you could imagine.
Yeah,
right?
That's fair.
So despite the almost constant mockery of the whole ordeal from basically the whole world, because that's who was reading about this, literally everybody, membership of Crowley's magical order actually skyrocketed due to this lawsuit.
All fucking, what did they say?
No press is bad press?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I was going to say the opposite of that, like where it's like, any press is good press, but it's the same principle.
It's the same thing. It's just worded different.
Yeah. That's a good way to go about it,
There you
if
go.
If people hate you enough, they're definitely looking into you because they want to hate you more.
Exactly. And guess what? Mathers fucking lost the lawsuit.
Oh.
Yeah. And the stories about Crowley just kept coming in the news,
Like they said in the nude.
In the nude.
Like, okay, nude stories.
Well, he's nude enough for that to be, assumed. But most of them were snarky, but still, In 1910, Crowley was performing magical rituals that were open to the public every Wednesday for 2 months straight.
Really?
Which strangely garnered positive theatrical reviews, like specifically reviews in the theater section of newspapers. Isn't that fun?
That's interesting. I like that. I'm
magical
I'm kind of hooked on that now. Yeah. It's sort of like theater. It's just magic, and it's just
sort of different. It's just you assume it's magic.
It's sex magic,
and then it is. That's the magic of it.
It's just live porn.
It's just live porn a lot of the time.
It's literally just a guy getting loads put into his ass, and he's like, "It's magic."
He's like, "It is done."
when you really when you take a step back and analyze it, it just sounds somehow ridiculously hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of the time at like the public things, he would just kind of like commence orgies of like women and men around him while he had like a snake around his neck and shit, and he was like saying some poetry.
Yeah, that's normal, right? That's not like a strange thing to see.
So he wasn't doing the end.
Everybody, come here and let's all have sex in a pile. That doesn't sound appealing.
In front of these reporters and general public.
Orgies are one of those things, like, before you're old enough to fully comprehend sex, but the idea of it is enticing, you know? Like, you don't quite understand it yet. You're like, I don't get the ins and the outs, for lack of a better term.
You know, like, the end. You just don't know the means
Yeah, you're like, I know that people want it, and I know that I want it, but I'm not even sure how it works. That's, like, the only time period where I feel like orgies sound like a good idea.
Yeah.
Because
probably
once you actually understand how it works, you're like, this is not what I want.
There's so many factors to worry about.
Like, they make it look so funny, like it's a pile of bodies, so it's like, who's even having sex? You're just kind of like naked, flopping around on people. You're like, hey, I'm gonna noodle my way over to this guy and see if he wants some.
I'm gonna take a water break. You want to go with me?
Yeah, it's like, so what if they're like, no, I'm already occupied. You're like, well, I'm the only one in here not getting laid, so I'm just going to beat off in the middle of all you guys.
Go drink Powerade in my fucking full socks and shoes, but I'm nude otherwise.
Yeah, orgies are fucking weird, man. I don't get it.
Yeah. However, not all of the Crowley reviews were positive. Okay, so the theater, they love him, but everything else, it seemed bad. Mathers had gotten in contact with a publication called The Looking Glass that did a little extensive expose on Crowley's life, according to Sam Mathers.
Okay.
Dead babies, adultery, homosexual relations, and all. So all the stuff. It was all out there.
Wow, if you mash all those together, that's a crazy headline.
Yeah, that's just the title. Those mentioned in the articles, along with Crowley, like the peoples whose names were also mentioned, due to the association with a gay man, sued for libel and bad reputation.
Okay.
Right? So, but Crowley honestly kind of enjoyed the attention and denied exactly zero of the allegations. He was just like, yeah, keep it coming. Why not?
Baby.
It was because of this homosexual accusation that Crowley lost a good chunk of his followers as well as students, just because the world knew he was gay.
The whole world.
The entire world, and now people are just like, well, I can't be associated with this guy.
Yeah.
It's just how it was back then. So let's see. This didn't bother Crowley too much because most of his attention at this time was placed in his new female counterpart, Mary Dusty Sturgis.
That's a cool fucking name.
Isn't it? Sounds like she works at a dive bar.
She sounds like she's a character in Red Dead Redemption, Just some old fucking badass cowgirl.
It really is the Dusty that does it.
See, for me, it's the Sturgis. That just seems like... It's all Sturgis.
It's everything.
I'm Don Sturgis.
Don Sturgis.
You could be anything.
This is my wife, Mary Dusty Sturgis.
You could be an outlaw.
Whoa, dude.
You could be an astronaut. You could anything in between. You could do anything with the name like that.
Yeah. Well, apparently when the first two engaged in sex magic, Mary saw a vision of a bearded man with a wand.
Dumbledore?
So, yeah, I think so. I think it may have been... Or Merlin, maybe.
No, it was Dumbledore.
It was probably Dumbledore. So these visions continued, and Crowley and Sturgis eventually wrote a book together called Book 4, which contained many messages from the secret chiefs, including, but not limited to, the importance of yoga, insights on mysticism, and incredibly anti-Semitic notions such as Jews killed Christian babies to make matzah out of their blood for Sunday. So that's a bit of a misstep there, wouldn't you say?
Just another connection to Bill Schnoebelen. I'm pretty certain I've seen that exact article on the website where we originally found Bill Schnoebelen.
Yeah, I think Bill Schnoebelen probably loves Book 4.
That's something that I'm pretty certain I've come across, and at least it just, whoever's writing it is completely unironic in the fact that they're writing it.
Yeah, they're just like, no, yeah, that's how they make the matzah.
They're the guys at the party that are
really?
Like, wait, you didn't know that? You're like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't know that there.
And then they follow you around like, I can't believe you didn't know that.
That guy doesn't know that Jews kill Christian babies and eat them. It's like, okay, yeah.
It's like, okay, where am I? What is this setting?
Sit down.
This is just a housewarming party? Fuck you guys.
Sit down, Sturgis. You're done.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that happened. Well, it's 1912 now. And you know what that means. The Book of the Law hits the shelves.
Book of the Law.
Book of the Law.
Book of the Law.
Book of the Law.
Book of the Law. That's how the Book of the Law.
The Book of the Law. And along with it was a book Crowley had written called The Book of Lies.
Oh.
All right?
Don't get him confused now.
Don't get it twisted.
I know how very, very similar those are, but they're very different books.
So the Book of the Lies, Book of the Lie is Book of Lies. The Book of Lies caught the attention of the Ordo Templi Orientis, or the OTO, a sex magic-based magical order. Okay, this caught the eye of the leaders of that. The main thing about the OTO is that they claim to, through their practice, be able to access all secrets of magic. You know, like the structures of religion and the symbology of Freemasons, all of it.
As well as card tricks.
Pulling
a rabbit out of a hat.
How did you get that quarter in and out of my ear?
They're like, we get it all, man. We know everything, bitch.
Well, so apparently it caught their eye because in the Book of Lies, Crowley published a well-kept secret of the OTO. And it was the secret of the 9th degree.
Oh?
Okay, I don't know what that is. But the leader of the OTO at the time was fucking pissed, okay? He thought Crowley was telling the secrets of his secret society just as he had done with the Golden Dawn in that lawsuit earlier, you know?
Stop telling the secrets,
He's
bitch.
like, why are you just talking all the time? So he arranged a meeting with Crowley. And it was quickly realized, however, that Crowley had never even heard of the OTO, and he had simply come across the information through intuition and practice.
Oh, yeah.
So he just came across these supposedly crazy secrets.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. He would never admit that that's not how it happened.
No,
you know?
no, never. The two then began discussing sex magic, and Crowley actually introduced the magical powers held within the butthole.
Sex magic.
And that created a new grade in the OTO called the 11th grade, which Crowley named it the 11th grade because 11 looks like two penises.
The juniors.
Oh, God. Crowley then became the head of the British OTO. Just immediately.
Immediately.
It's like, you're in. You're fucking in, dude. You're in charge. So while in this position, he headed magic sex orgies on the regular.
Yeah, on the reg. He's just a sex magic guy. Sex magic guy, you know, it's no big deal.
Yeah. But one ritual he did one series of rituals, let's call it that, a series of rituals that he did during this period would finally solidify his place in history, but cause Neuberg to go legitimately insane.
Oh, now? Just now?
Just now, yeah. It was called the Paris Working.
Okay.
This series of rituals. So, we know that Neuberg was in love with Crowley after that fateful night in the desert.
Yeah, through their steamy, passionate love dump.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I love you so much. But, Neuberg, recognizing their, the relationship was strictly magical, began seeing other women.
This sex is strictly magical and nothing else. Imagine saying that.
I only have sex with you for magic.
It's
like, oh, how devastating.
I don't love you. I don't like you. I don't enjoy it. But God damn it if it isn't magic. That's what this is all about.
It's strictly magical, but fucking with this guy. So Neuberg actually just started seeing a woman, okay? Sadly, this woman apparently committed suicide after Crowley disapproved of them. Crowley just disapproved of their relationship and she killed herself. Supposedly. This is how Neuberg sees it. So that's the mental state of Neuberg going into this ritual. Okay, so not the best. The whole goal of the Paris Working was to invoke the gods Jupiter and Mercury to inspire writing ability in and grow the bank account of Crowley.
Oh, of course.
You know?
Why not?
Yeah. So this ritual involved getting insanely stoned on... I just said stoned. They just said fucked up on drugs. Any sort of drugs. I don't know what they were doing.
Whatever they could, man.
Insanely... crazy. They got crazy and then commenced in hours-long orgies, including Crowley bottoming, which he referred to as the sacrament. So he's got all sorts of names for this now.
This is when he started calling himself the town square, you know?
There we go.
It's just the busiest intersection in the area.
It's always jammed up. So Crowley then took Neuberg, who was dancing wildly, you know, just that's what you do, cut a cross over his heart with a knife, wrapped a heavy chain around his head and face, and bottomed for him again while the others in the orgy began chanting magical incantations. Because everyone came at this point. It's like almost done. But now here's Neuberg, all chain wrapped in the face, and he has to fuck, Crowley. And I'm sure Neuberg already came as well. You know, it's
what if Neuberg
difficult
he
situation.
Doesn't even believe in this shit. He's like, I just love fucking ass, and that's why I'm here. You know.
And this guy just asked for it, literally.
This guy literally just brings me around the world and just wants me to fuck his ass, and it's a win-win for me.
I'm just here for it, you know. Unfortunately, Neuberg wasn't able to come at this final pivotal moment, probably due to the recent tragedies, and the ritual failed its first attempt.
Or I wouldn't even say recent tragedies, or the fact that he probably just came like less than 5 minutes
That's
ago.
what I'm saying, dude. He probably came too.
Poor guy, you know. How dare he?
Poor guy.
Should have had one of those, like, what they say, like those, the cock rings or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But, you know, maybe if you wore that, he would have at least stayed up.
That extends you lasting longer, I thought.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what
it
these
does.
things do.
It's supposed to do something. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Well, but when the group tried the ritual again the next day, Neuberg was able to come, and he came so fucking much.
Gross.
Right? A lot. And Crowley
Oodles.
then...
Oodles of
cum. Oodles. Like ramen noodles. So, yeah. Yeah, the next day, they did it again. Neuberg was able to come, and Crowley then claimed to have spoken with Mercury, who in so many words told Crowley of the magical importance and the power of cum. So it's just a lot of... It's a constant feedback machine.
Man,
you know?
So the combination of drugs and anal sex really paint a different picture of the world.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a little confused. So when you say Mercury...
Oh, the planet, of
the
course.
god.
Of course, Mitch. Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's the planet and the god.
Not like the liquid metal shit that'll kill you.
No, he wasn't talking to like an element or an alloy or whatever that is. I don't know what it is, but it wasn't that. No, it was a god.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he only talks to you if you get a load in your butt and you're on drugs. That's the only way. Yeah, like
it's the only way.
It sounds like you want to do this, Grant.
it's a cover charge. It's like when you go to
Crowley
a bar or
sells
something.
it really well.
Dude, he does. He really is painting the image of weird orgies with the strangest people on the planet in the middle of fucking nowhere. It's a good time, you know? It's a good time.
Seems like it, yeah.
Nowadays, it just seems dangerous.
It's always been dangerous.
No, they were all well-behaved back then, you know?
Yeah, so well behaved. From this experience, Crowley would write the Book of the High Magic Art, as well as the Esoteric Record.
Oh.
He wrote 2 books about it from just that little experience with Mercury.
Okay.
Cool. So, Crowley also felt it was imperative that he be sexually humiliated for about 6 weeks or so, for some reason. And Crowley was being fucked in the ass left and right by multiple different people participating in the rituals for 6 weeks.
Okay. Right.
So he's doing it. He's fucking in, all right? So as one might guess, Neuberg was a bit pissed, but, he was just not in the best headspace. So, I mean, he loved Crowley, right? So he was just made to watch countless people fuck the shit out of this guy that he supposedly loves.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's not gonna be good on your,
on your
mental
psyche
health there,
or
yeah.
anything.
Nothing's good out of this.
That's no good, man.
On top of this, Crowley had come down with a cold during this time. And the 2 factors of him being sick and Neuberg being all pissed around the ritual, these 2 factors presented a problem for the magical workings of the ritual. All right?
No.
I know. And eventually, an entity appeared and informed them that their tainted magical setting due to sickness and anger would cause international war.
Oh, fuck.
And guess what happened a fucking few months later?
World War One.
Yes.
It happened, dude.
It's some real magic.
Literally, the world fought each other because Aleister Crowley was sick and he didn't get the right cum.
There you go.
That's all. It wasn't.
Cum is so powerful.
It wasn't the Franz Ferdinand, shooting. It was the load that nobody saw because it didn't happen. If only you would have fucking milked Neudberg, everybody would have been fine.
It's true.
Mustard gas wouldn't have ever been an issue.
Yeah, I think maybe Neudberg was a monogamy guy.
Yeah,
very monogamy guy. To be in a practice like this and to be a monogamy guy. Setting yourself up for failure, kid.
Yeah, when everything revolves around sex magic, good luck, man.
Good luck. Set up to fail, Mitchell. So strangely enough, during these multiple rituals, somewhere in the middle there, Crowley was shown his own limits by the very magic he practiced. All right, so during one of these rituals, it was revealed to him that the ultimate power, the ultimate most powerful sexual act in sex magic, was the ritualistic rape, murder, and dismemberment of a virgin.
Oh yeah, I mean that's standard procedure,
I guess it seems, but Crowley did not do this.
Oh,
claiming that he had his limits.
Well, he just doesn't want to be a magician.
The most wicked man in the world has his limits. Okay, take that home.
I like how he's the most wicked man in the world when he didn't even do that. And then, years later, people would just do that for fun and not even try magic. They're like, I just like raping and killing people.
No, yeah, it's fucked. People have changed since that. Maybe Crowley infected cum itself as an idea, and then serial killers are the reaction to that.
Maybe.
Or the uptick in it,
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
There we go. Well, let's see. Yeah, he didn't want to do that, so he didn't. And finally, Neudberg had a nervous breakdown, landing him in a sanitarium for a period of time.
Finally.
Yeah, right? It seems like a lot's been building. He then annulled his membership and cut ties with Crowley. Interesting. Self-growth.
There he goes. He's learning.
There you go.
He's like, this is all bullshit. This guy just likes it in the butt.
He hates me. Why don't I see that? So Crowley then cursed Neudberg as if he wasn't having enough problems. Crowley cursed Neudberg, and though he would go on to get married and settle down, Neudberg that is, he was never the same after the rituals over those 6 weeks.
Never the same.
Never the same. So as for the rituals in the Paris workings, they worked, supposedly. Crowley ended up with 500 pounds in opium, and his new book came out. So he was like, oh, guys, it fucking worked. That's all it takes, I guess.
That's all you need.
You just need opium, about $500, and a book. That didn't sell well. The downside to all this, however, was the fact that Neudberg was gone, and he had been funding almost everything Crowley had been doing for years. Because, as you remember, he fucking ran out of money.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So 500 bones. He's just like, all right, this is good, but I really need these books to sell, which they did.
I really wish it was 5 million.
And despite his newfound notoriety and position in the OTO, and even the money and the drugs that he had acquired, Crowley's books were still not selling, leaving him poor and somewhat directionless. All right,
How
we've
sad.
all been there. He then attempted to climb Kanchenjunga again for a second time, and when in the midst of this expedition, that's when World War I broke out. So it just happened while he was training to climb the mountain again. Strangely enough, Crowley offered his assistance to his country of England by offering up his magical abilities and even trying to enlist just as a regular soldier.
And they laughed at him both times.
Sort of.
they the
sort of did.
We'd rather lose than have you be on our team, okay?
He was rejected due to his reputation and his age. He was approaching 40. And blood clots in his legs.
You know what's funny? I'm not going to use names, but everyone in this room has met or knows personally an individual that sounds just like this, but with a war that happened about 100 years later.
Yeah.
Mitch, you haven't moved yet, but you know exactly who I'm talking about. Not the blood clot thing. Not the blood clot thing. We'll explain it after the show.
We're just going to give hints to
Yeah, we'll just continue on.
All right, so he had blood clots. He was old and he was fucking he had bad reputation. Crowley was somewhat distraught at this denial, and so he moved back to New York in the U.S. for the second time. Back to New York.
New York City.
Yeah. He sailed there on a ship, and that ship was later sank on the journey back to Europe.
Of course,
fun, probably in the war.
He ruined it all.
Yeah. Crowley arrived, and he had like $200 and a piece of paper claiming his magical rank. That's all he had.
That's it?
That's all he had.
That's it?
It's it.
Well, he loves it in the butt. He'd probably make some money off that.
Well, big city, yeah, come on.
Big city, big shitty, you know what I mean?
There we go.
Oh. That's an anal joke. This one's full of anal jokes.
No,
I don't know why.
It's chock full of it. And cum, are you kidding me?
Cum and anal, that's like the topic of the day.
Yeah. Well, Crowley attempted to keep his full-time magic situation going, but he was like hosting parties where he'd like guess people's birthdays and birth hours and things. And apparently he was right like most of the time, but despite this, no one really took him seriously in America at all.
Everyone that he got right, he was related to. He just asked. He's like, hey, what's your birthday? All right, cool, watch this. Guys, I'm going to guess his birthday.
It's like they're all going to think I can do it. Idiots. Fucking idiots. So, he had these parties. No one really took it seriously, though it was kind of impressive. I'd be impressed by that. Crowley was then forced to take his first job at the age of 39.
Oh, boo fucking who.
Now he has to work. And you know what his job was? It was a writer for a pro-German pamphlet called The Fatherland.
All right.
So he's like writing for Germany. And supposedly the main goal of the Fatherland publication was to keep the U.S. from entering the war, though Crowley twisted this all around in all sorts of ways, kind of. You know, he was writing anti-British propaganda, but claimed that he was like working for the British by writing his sections in such a far-reaching and outlandish way that it actually helped the U.S. into the war. That's what he said happened. But I think he may have just needed money.
I'm still trying to grasp what the fuck he meant by that.
Yeah,
that's some ass backwards fucking.
You never know which way this guy's going.
Yeah, this guy has no plan at all. He's just like, check this.
Oh, God. All right, so Crowley, unsurprisingly, never stopped doing magic at this time. Right, so when he couldn't summon a woman to do sex magic with, as he'd done in the past in Europe and all that stuff, he simply used his fatherland money to use sex workers for his rituals.
I thought you were going to say he used his father, and I was like,
oh my God, no, it's fatherland. This is Germany.
He's like, I just have a job so I could buy hookers and do magic, you know? No, it's what everyone does.
You know what? Do you, man.
That's New York, man. Come on.
That's New York. Yeah, he used sex workers for these rituals, and none of them had any idea what the fuck was going on. And based on just sex workers, I hardly think that they cared.
No, they
what was happening.
Like whatever, you got money.
Exactly, that's all it is. So Crowley also opened up the first chapter of the OTO in America. Isn't that exciting?
It's exciting.
It's exciting, and because of this, he granted himself the title Magus.
Magus.
Yeah, putting him on kind of the same level as like Jesus Christ or like Muhammad.
Yeah.
Or similar prophets, Like, he was like, I'm a prophet now. So with this new rank, he decided it was about time for another magical retirement and went to New Hampshire this time. He has a great time in New Hampshire. Okay?
Really?
He has...
That's the first time for anybody.
No, see, when I tell you this, you'll realize this is this guy having a little bit of fun. So when there, he captured a frog.
Okay.
Right? And he adorned it with gold and frankincense and myrrh.
All right.
And then he baptized it, giving it the name Jesus.
Jesus H. Frog.
He turned a frog into Jesus.
And that's how Kermit got his first television show.
Oh, God.
John Henson, he wants you to believe he wrote it. Kermit wrote it.
Kermit, the puppet, wrote it. So, he named this frog Jesus. And then he released it, okay? And he followed the frog Jesus, around all day. And then he captured it again that night, and began speaking to the frog as if it was Jesus himself.
Hey, man, how you doing? Tell me about that.
How you doing? How do you get a job like that?
Can I like help you out? I could be an assistant. I'll take over while you're
assistant to our Lord.
I'm an assistant Jesus. That's all you need, okay?
No, I didn't. He didn't ask about job opportunities. He just more yelled at him about his childhood experiences with religion.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that makes kind of more sense.
Fitting, I guess,
yeah.
for that guy.
Yeah. Crowley then literally crucified the frog and ate its legs so to obtain the power of Jesus.
Oh, it's that simple?
It's that simple. You just got to pierce the side of it with the spear there.
Yep.
Crucify him for a little bit and then just eat his legs.
I don't remember the Romans eating Jesus' legs.
You don't remember that?
No, I can't say I do.
Psalms 8:17.
And we devoured his legs
psalm, yeah.
with salt and garlic powder.
Yeah, so he ate Jesus in the form of a frog. Well, whatever magical... I don't know what was supposed to happen, but whatever magical thing was supposed to happen worked, apparently. Because when Crowley got back to New York, he was approached by a young woman who wanted to be his assistant.
Okay.
And this was a woman whose appearance, Crowley says, remarkably resembled Frog Jesus.
How is that?
Isn't that just insulting?
Yeah, I don't know which one. I gotta see the lady. Is it insulting the Frog Jesus or the woman?
You look like a dead frog I know. It's like, that's super shitty, man.
Didn't I crucify you as a frog last week?
I ate your legs.
I know your face. So still, Crowley was in a bit of a magical lull. Now he's going crazy out there. After this, he a lot of the people in America weren't, picking up what he was putting down. And so he set off for New Orleans. He's going all around America.
Hitting up the Louisiana.
This is where he tried his hand at writing a novel. A fiction piece, not like a magical text or like book of poetry. He's like, I'm going to write a fun story. It was called Moonchild.
Moonchild.
Yeah, and he had imbued the story with real magical practices. Apparently Moonchild was about like a detective who solved crime using the principles of Thelema.
That's kind of interesting, though.
It's kind of cool.
Not gonna lie, that's a bit interesting.
Yeah.
It's also a King Crimson song.
Damn right it is. Fuck yeah, dude.
You're not wrong.
King. So apparently, what happened here? Moonchild. Apparently Moonchild's about the detective, Thelema, and all that. Also at this time, more specifically on May 16th of 1917, Crowley's mother died.
Oh,
she's dead.
Man.
He didn't really give a shit. He didn't really like her. He had apparently dreamt that this would happen 2 nights previous, but in any case, he didn't care.
He's like, oh, thank God, finally.
She's gone. But what he did care about was the fact that his mother had left him 3,000 pounds in her will. And that was roughly, in today's money, like $120-something thousand. All
right, so he's back in it a little bit. Not as much, but he's back.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But it hadn't kicked in yet, And before he could get this money, the leader of the OTO in England that he had left there, was arrested for fraudulent ritual magic.
Fraudulent magic.
Fraudulent ritual magic in a sex magic, group of people. Would that just be like wearing a condom?
Yeah.
Because that's fake dick, maybe.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it anymore, so he just wore a strap on. And it was like, no, that's cheating. You're wrong. That's unlawful.
It's like, you shut up.
No dildos allowed.
He used a dildo on me.
Fingers,
How
toes,
depraved.
tongues, and penis. That's all we allow here.
So yeah, fraudulent ritual magic. He was arrested for this. So Crowley then made his way back to England to address the charges with his fellow OTO member. But was made to sell bullskin to fund the trip because, again, the money hadn't kicked in.
Okay.
And legal expenses. He helped with that. So when Crowley returned to America, however, he was promoted to chief editor at a different pro-German pamphlet where he had been working also. And he used the platform to publish his own writings on magic and stuff. And he continued the tales of the detective. That character, he would do like little, short stories, I guess. I don't know. Of Moonchild, yeah. He did this all under a pseudonym.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. All the while still performing sex magic with various sex workers.
I like that.
It just makes sense. He's kind of killing it. You know?
He's
compared to a lot of the other points in his life, he's like, I'm just kind of living in New York and doing my thing.
He's definitely enjoying somebody in the world's dream, you know?
That's true.
Even if it's not his exactly, somebody out there is like, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
So he's doing this. Some of these women, like Crowley's sex magic partners in the past, they began having magical visions, which was promising in Crowley's eyes. But the International, which was the publication that he had been made the chief editor of, shut down, and Crowley lost his job and cut all the ties with the sex magic partners before moving to Hyde Park, New York, which is kind of like a spacious area, you know, nothing like the city.
Yeah, it's a private place for magic.
Private place. So in Hyde Park, Crowley went on another magical retirement, wherein he decided that he'd, been focusing on sex magic a bit too much. He's like, I may have been like doing this a bit overboard, you know. So he naturally did an insane amount of drugs and meditated all day in and out.
Fair enough.
And so local farmers around the new spot where they were literally keeping him alive during this. They kept like making deliveries of food and like essentials like almost every day. They were weirdly nice to him for some reason. But maybe that's the magic. Maybe that's the magic working for him.
You never know.
You know? It was while this baby man was getting sloshed on drugs and meditating and being taken care of by, concerned total strangers that he discovered his love for painting.
Just like Hitler.
He's becoming a painter. Yes, just like Hitler.
He's the most famous painter I've ever heard of.
He kind of is, in a way. Not for that, maybe, but yeah. So his paintings are insane. You got to look them up. Not right now, but you right now listening, yeah, you look it up. But
do it.
Yeah. So
do
Crowley, he then returned to New York in 1919, where he continued with his sex magic and painting. Right before moving back to England to live with his aunt about a year later, because the money left to Crowley by his mother still had not kicked in. He still didn't have any of this fucking money. And it was during this time that Crowley's asthma and, bronchitis, they were starting to get a little bad. So he went to the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Right? He's like, I'm living at my aunt's house. I'm going to the doctor. I'm in England. Guess what he was prescribed?
I know. I know what it is.
Mitch, what do you think he was prescribed?
Can I spoil it for you, Mitch?
Yeah.
It's heroin.
It's heroin.
Oh, really?
He was prescribed heroin for his asthma and bronchitis. And this was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, this is the
beginning of the end, and it is the end of that information for this episode.
If you can pinpoint a time where the downfall of Aleister Crowley began, obviously there's several runner-ups, but this is definitely the top prize.
I mean, he didn't start out like good.
No.
But this is what made it happen.
Yeah, this is where the slippery slope downwards begins. I know in a lot of your guys' eyes, he never really had anywhere to go but down further than he already was. But it will happen. It's not
just
going
you wait for
else.
the hope. No, it's going to be the final episode next week.
No, it will. It might
final
might be a little
Crowley.
extended because we might end up having a little conversation about some like magic things like that.
Yeah.
But before we get to any of that, we're gonna wrap up his little tale, and then we can finally rest. We could finally not have to worry about him being in our minds ever again. Unless you're into sex magic, then you'll always be thinking about him.
Hey, man. Like I said, man, he was turned on to sex magic, and it seemed to have just come through the information and infested us. So
it did.
Was sex magic a thing before Crowley?
Yeah, the OTO was like an entire group of people dedicated to like sex magic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why.
That's mostly what they practice. Yeah,
that's why he was such a big fan at the beginning. He
was like, "What the fuck? You just found this out?
You guys like what I like.
So
I
Jesus
created
Christ.
it though. You didn't, bitch."
Just stealing things.
With all that, that's effectively our part 4 for Mr. Crowley.
It truly is, yeah. So
we're powering through. We're powering through. We're gonna hit the 5 hour
slides on
mark.
by.
Isn't that crazy?
I got to the end of my notes. I was like, "What already?"
So many hours. of just this guy. That doesn't...
It's going to be 5 hours.
Yeah.
At least 5 hours.
It's a very in-depth thing. But, we'll be back. We're going to wrap her up.
In depth, you say.
And, and next week's Thanksgiving, so fucking eat up, y'all. Enjoy some grubbage, if that's like your thing. I don't know what you're all about. But most people in this country are probably going to be eating on that day. So I would say if you're in America and it happens to be a week from yesterday, well, I guess if you're listening, that doesn't really help you, does it?
I don't know.
It would be the 25th, I believe, right?
You just do some math.
It is. It's the November 25th. Eat some fucking food, you know, and just kick it, enjoy it, just live it up.
Much like Neuberg's penis in Crowley's asshole, you just got to muzzle load some food into your face.
The Macy's Day Parade is also happening, so you can enjoy that while you
slip in that gravy.
Ooh,
slip in the gravy.
Slip in the gravy and rub it on your balls, bitch.
Well, we are starting a cult that's grand up. Jake and Mitch was here.
Yes.
We were all talking about a bunch of stuff, but you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and, we got our YouTube.
And analcum.com.
There we go. Look that up. And fucking start a cult at gmail.com. You got to email us. You got to do it. You have to, actually. You have to do that.
Yeah, and, you have to if you want to be. It's really easy to join this cult. You just got to, follow us on everything. And that's, pretty much it. Just listen.
You're in.
That's it. That's all it takes.
And there's the Patreon down below, of course. We just recorded an episode for that yesterday. And
yes,
it's
we
up
did.
Fresh, hot for the patrons.
Oh, yeah.
So go down there. We'll give you a shirt. We'll give you anything you want.
Yeah, we'll literally send you clumps of our hair. I don't care.
I think that was an early thing that we tried to do. I, shaved your head. It was like, you guys want Grant's hair? And I don't think we had any following at all.
No, we did. We had one guy that was like, yeah, that'd be funny. Then I thought about it and I was like, I don't know if I like that my DNA will be in some stranger's possession.
You don't like it?
Maybe I'll give you some clumps. I got rope here.
We'll just send him Navi hair or something.
Yeah, you guys can have some Navi hair.
I got enough of that on my fucking sweatshirt.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But we will be back. We love you guys very much and have a great holiday, and I love you all.
Yeah, I also love you all in the holiday stuff Grant said.